Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for coming and attending our very first virtual Graduate and Professional Schools Expo. It's been a learning curve, as has everything with COVID. We're so used to having the table set up where you can browse and go around. So this is a little bit more prescribed, but it seems to be doing okay. So I hope everyone feels the same way. My name's Kelly Zatorsky. I'm the manager of Careers and Experiential Learning at Trent University in the Careerspace team. So Careerspace is the group that's hosting this event today. And we are a team that provides some services and a sort of a different outlook on the career landscape. So we support Trent students and alumni by making sure they have meaningful experiences, by giving them some necessary perspectives and some valuable resources. So through that, we have virtual appointments, workshops, online resources. We have opportunities like this one to connect with employers and recruiters. And just to note, all of these services are free. That question does come up. So absolutely, they are free of charge. I'm going to put a link to our website in the chat, but it's trentu.ca/careerspace. You can book an appointment or learn more about any of our services. So I'm super excited to have Nicole here from Durham College. Just before I hand over the reins, we're just going to go over a little bit of housekeeping. So Nicole, if you can just put your contact information in the chat, then we can have that available to anybody that needs it. I'm sure you'll have it in your presentation as well. And as I said, we'll probably go 15-20 minutes on presentation, then we'll have some Q&A at the end. And then to the attendees, I'm sure you've attended some webinars, but we have the Q&A feature along the bottom as well. If you're more comfortable, you can plug it into the chat as well, totally fine. And this presentation will be, has been recorded and will be posted to the Careerspace website as well. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over the reins to Nicole, and the floor is yours.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So yeah, my name is Nicole Jilks, and I am the Senior Recruitment Strategist at Durham College. So part of my role is going out into the community and connecting with students who are looking at options to either further education or possibly start post-secondary for the first time. So it's a really fun and exciting job. I'm just going to share my screen because I do have a PowerPoint, so I'm hoping it's going to work. Just a little short presentation that we've put together.
Here we go.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, Durham College, for anybody who might not know, we're a medium-sized public college in Ontario. So our main campus is located in Oshawa, which Trent University does have the Trent Durham campus there. So we are, really close partners, which is really nice. So main campus in Oshawa hosts majority of our programs, and then we do have a smaller campus in Whitby. The Whitby campus tends to be a little bit more specific for our programs in skilled trades, apprenticeships, but we also recently opened our Center for Food there as well. So culinary, hospitality, horticulture, those types of options exist as well. So being medium size, we have just over 12,000 full-time students with part-time students and again, apprenticeship students as well. We share our main campus in Oshawa with Ontario Tech University also. So pre-COVID, when we were actually able to be on site, it's a really bustling campus. Ontario Tech has over 10,000 students with them as well. So really lively campus, which is something I really enjoy. So there's just a little map to give you an idea, depending on where everybody is, where we are. So it's a nice central location. It's easy to get to, off the 407, 401, there's GO Transit, Durham Region Transit, all of those great things. So the types of areas the types of programs that we offer, we've kind of broken it down by campus just to give you an idea where things are located. We do have programs in the area of business, IT, and management. So we have a wide variety of programs. There are certificates, diplomas, advanced diplomas. We do have graduate certificate programs, quite a few in the area of business. So if anybody who's completing a degree and wants to further their studies, graduate certificate programs are about 1 year in length. They're typically highly specialized areas, so a great complement to a degree. A lot of our programs also include some type of field placement or co-op applied project, something like that, to get you some hands-on experience or experience out in the field, which is really great. So we have a lot of graduate certificates, again, in the area of business and IT. For example, we have project management as a one-year grad cert. We also have health and community services. There's a few in that area are popular. If anyone's interested in that, we have things like addictions and mental health is one of our one-year grad certs, as well as our communicative disorders assistant program is another popular one. Interdisciplinary studies, that one might not apply to this audience as much. That's more our preparatory and foundations program. So for people who might not be 100% sure what they're looking for or need to do some upgrading to enter the program of their choice. Justice and emergency services is another large area for us, and we do offer quite a few graduate certificates as well as fast track options in this area. So things like advanced law enforcement, that is one of our graduate certificates. We have a paralegal graduate certificate, mediation as well, which is becoming quite popular. So just to give you some ideas there. We also have quite a bit in the area of media, art, and design. So things like advertising and digital media management as a one-year program, as well as science and engineering. We offer quite a few fast track options. So a fast track program is designed for students who have completed prior post-secondary education, so a diploma or a degree. And so you still get, typically the credential you earn is a 2 or 3 year diploma, but as the fast track, you complete it in 2 or 3 semesters. So again, it's a way to add another credential to your tool belt or your resume, as I call it. So in that area, we have things like chemical engineering, there's pharmaceutical and food sciences. So if you're more into the sciences side of things, there are options there. Jumping over to our Whitby location, there is a little bit of overlap. We do offer some of our business programs there, specifically the office administration program. Again, I mentioned earlier in the presentation, that is where we host all of our hospitality and horticultural science programs. So things like culinary and hotel restaurant management. It's a really beautiful space. We have our own restaurant that's open to the public there, and a pantry where we sell items that our students have created and produced. So it's pretty exciting. We do run our animal care program from the Whitby campus as well, which falls under our community services side. A few of our science and engineering programs run under there. I apologize, that's my dog whining in the background. And then again, that is, Whitby campus is really known for our skilled trades and apprenticeship programs. So for anybody who might be interested in that area. We do offer some bachelor degrees at the college. Currently we have 2. They're healthcare technology management. That one is a unique program in Canada, actually. We're currently the only school in the entire country offering that. As well, we have a brand new behavioral science degree. Might not appeal so much to this audience because I know a lot of you are most likely completing degrees right now. We do offer $2,500 entrance awards to both of these programs. In terms, just some stats, so we do have more than 450 pathway options available. Latswith Trent, again, is one of our closest and main partners. We have a high employer satisfaction rate, lots of spaces on campus. We do have a residence, which we do guarantee for all of our students. And again, just mentioned our shared campus here. With the current pandemic, a lot of our programs are being delivered through a hybrid delivery. So anything that we can do remotely is being done through online learning, but anything that requires face-to-face instruction, we are still bringing students onto campus so that they can complete lab components, for example, field placement, those types of things. We're following the restrictions from public health, so social distancing, reduced class sizes, contact tracing, all of that is happening. So you should feel safe if you do decide to attend any of our programs, whether it be a fully remote program or a hybrid delivery. We are hosting a virtual open house on Saturday, November 14th. It will run from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. It is virtual, so please don't come to the campus that day. We would love to have you if we could. but you have the option to connect with us online. All of our programs will have virtual spaces exactly like we've been here today with Trent, where you can connect with our students and our faculty to get a little bit more in-depth information from the experts themselves. And if you can't make it out in the fall, we do run a spring one, and of course we're running weekly webinars throughout the fall as well. So lots of options to connect with us. I did put my email into the chat box, so feel free to reach out to me personally at any point. I would be happy to help answer any questions or to connect you with the right people. I will just put one more slide up here. So just some more ways that you can connect with us on social media platforms. We do have our recruitment email, but again, I definitely invite you to email me personally. I would be happy to help you out. So I think that basically covers the presentation in a nutshell. Yeah, I guess I'll open it up now for questions.
Great, thanks very much. So to any of the attendees, feel free to pop any questions that may have come up into the Q&A field or into the chat box.
I also just put the link to the open house information in case you hear anything that sparked some interest today and are interested in connecting with us further. You can register online through that link.
Great. So there's one question in here, Nicole. For graduate diplomas, for example, the human resource management, do you require high school transcripts as well for admissions?
We typically don't. No, as long as the requirement is met from the degree or the diploma, then we just require the post-secondary one. Sometimes if the program specifies that they also want to see English proficiency, for example, if the degree didn't include an English or a communications type course, then we may need the high school transcript to prove that English proficiency. So it really just depends on the program. But again, for human resources, I can double check that one here. Let you know, I think you just need the degree, or sorry, the secondary transcript. Oh, that one actually does list the proof of English proficiency. So if in your program you did take an English or communications, they would use that. You wouldn't need the high school. If you did not, then you would want to submit the high school transcript as well.
Maybe I could ask a question about one of the things that we talk about a lot in our office is experiential learning, hands-on experience. And often when we think of college programs, there's always, it's really practical, right? The type of learning that's going on. Can you give an example of maybe some of the programs that might have a placement component or an internship or something along those lines?
For sure, yeah. Majority of our programs do. So for example, the human resources graduate certificate, I'll use that as an example. That one does include a 5-week field placement in that 1-year program. So essentially, we kind of leave it up to the students to reach out to placement hosts, what we call them. That way, you can kind of go with places that you're interested in or where you might want to work in the future. If for some reason you're unsuccessful in securing that placement host of your choice, we do have officers that will assist with doing searches and locating a placement host. And then we do have some programs that have the co-op. Usually the co-op falls in a 3-year diploma program. Not so much with the graduate certificates. With the grad certs, you're more likely going to be looking at a placement or applied project.
Right. Great. And then the other piece, you did talk a bit about this with admissions, but do you, with grad, the certifications or the grad certs as you're referring to them, it depends on the program, I'm sure, but do you prefer applicants that have some experience or applicants that are immediately out of their undergrad or grad?
There's really no preference for either. It's kind of an and or. So if you have, usually they're looking for, I think, 3 to 5 years of experience if you don't have a degree. Yeah, so it wouldn't make a huge difference on the application. So if somebody doesn't have post-secondary education, but they have relevant experience, they will consider that.
Gotcha. Great. And then one other question here from someone named Lenny. What types of financial aid are offered?
There's quite a few options there. So there's OSAP, which all of our secondary programs are OSAP eligible. And then we also have bursaries and awards. So I mentioned for the degrees, there's the $2,500 entrance awards. For bursaries, there's thousands of them, and anybody can apply for them. When I was in school, I applied every semester for bursaries, and I was really lucky. I got 7 bursaries over 6 semesters. And there's some that are for specific programs or specific demographics, females, males, that sort of thing. And they range in amount. So the lowest one I got was $200 and the highest one I got was $2,000. So I highly suggest applying for bursaries, no matter which institution you end up attending. Hopefully it's Durham, but of course there's lots of options out there. So definitely look out for those bursaries anywhere you're going. We do offer emergency loans as well. Yeah, I think mostly the bursaries, OSAP, awards, and emergency loans.
Thanks very much. That's it for questions so far. So I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to wrap up with. Otherwise, I think that we can probably wrap up and say farewell.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us and for sharing all that wonderful information. Oh, sorry, Lenny's also asking about housing.
Oh, about housing. Yes. So we do have residents. We just opened a brand new one in Whitby as well, actually. So it's on both campuses. And it is guaranteed for our first-year students. So as long as you've been accepted into a program at Durham and apply to residence by the deadline, usually. So if you're looking to attend, let's say September 2021, the deadline for residents to apply is usually early June of the previous year. I think it was June 1st or 2nd last year. So if you meet all of those deadlines, you would be guaranteed a space. And then there's lots of off-campus housing options as well in the community. And there's a website, it's called Places for Students, and it's actually the number 4. And you can plug in the institution that you're attending, and it will bring up local housing listings in that area.
Oh, that's great. Do you offer off-campus housing services through your housing department, or is it separate?
We really just have a website that has resources for the off-campus housing.
Great. Okay. Awesome. Well, I think that covers everything. So again, thank you so much. And thanks to our students for attending and asking questions and taking the time to learn some more about opportunities at Durham College. I know I learned a lot. So as I said, this has been recorded, so we'll be sharing this out, and you can expect an email from us shortly, Nicole.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for organizing it and for having me, and thank you everyone for attending.